Bam.
Awesome. And if you could mute everyone except me, or I hear somebody's baby in the background.
We have 26 participants. And
oh, it's mine again.
let's see.
Not that we don't love babies here, of course. By the way, we are having fun with our grandchild. So, interesting experience for me, that's for sure. Awesome, great. Well, Tina, can you hear me? Am I on? Oops, you're not. You muted yourself even. Okay. All right, well, good morning, everyone, and thank you very much. Here we are, day 16 for, this wonderful series. I think it's been great. I love the consistency of this team showing up, and, there's very, very familiar faces on this call every morning, and we just want you to know how much we appreciate your efforts in doing so, because you know what? This call this morning is about fear and confidence. And let me just start off, by saying you're already winners. You are already winners. And let me give you a quick example of what I mean. How many people go through at least probably 10 people before they have one sign up with them? Yeah. So that's 1 out of 10, right? So top 10%. So you were the person that was that one. Remember that. You were already a top 10%er. Now, secondly, how many people are in Aspire? 1,700 approximately. How many people signed up for this 21-day training? About 75 people, wasn't it, Tina, signed up for this? About 75 people out of 1,700 said yes to this 21-day training. How many people show up every day?
And there are 26 here today.
There are 26 here today. So, and all of you are, I know, have been some of the most consistent.
Some of us have 2.
What's that? What's that, Victor?
Some of us have 2. So there's probably more than 20.
Yeah. So I need you guys to give you a round of applause, a thumbs up, pat yourself on the back, because you're already in the top 1%. All right. And sometimes you don't realize what you're doing. And 80% of success is showing up. Showing up every day. And you know how I know that? Because how many people on here have a job? Or I know some of you are moms now, but how many people have worked a job? A 9 to 5, call it. You know what I mean? So what do you get paid for there at work? You get paid to show up every day, right? If you show up every day, how many of your coworkers are showing up every day? All of them, right? Almost all of them show up every day. If you don't show up, what happens? You get fired. If people are consistently late, if they screw up at work, they get fired. But you know what makes success at work? 80% of your success is showing up. And I am amazed at the fact that people join a business like Beachbody and they just decide not to show up every day. They decide that an hour a day, 2 hours a day, max, right? Because most of us have jobs, so can you really, expect everyone to put in more than 2 hours a day? No, that's not what our expectations are. 15 to 20 hours a week, that's 2 to 3 hours a day. And is there anyone that really can't just show up every day? I don't think so. I think everybody has this capability to just show up and be present and engage and post a couple of times on Facebook or ask 1 or 2 people a day. Go like this. Who has coffee? You're at a coffee farm? Take your coffee, hold it up, go like this. You know what that is? Drinking a shake. How many people can drink a shake every day? Do you know what 80 to 90% of our business is? Drinking a shake every day. Asking somebody else to drink a shake with you. If we showed up every single day, if we drank a shake every single day, if we engaged with the team every single day, if we read some book, whether it's the Bible, whether it's the Grant Cardone 10X, whether it's The Slight Edge, whether it's Eat That Frog, any goal setting book, any mindset training book, any network marketing training book, any book that is going to keep you positive and geared towards a goal. Do you think that just by doing those, how many people in here cannot do those things every day? What do you think prevents people from doing those things every single day? Let's see, I'm gonna call on somebody. Marissa Kinsel. Tina, can you unlock Marissa? Can you find her? Oh, Marissa, if you could unmute yourself, that'd be great. But I'm just gonna, I'd love to just have a little bit more feedback on this and try to get people involved. One of the main reasons is fear, so don't be scared. Marissa, can you hear us? Why do you think people can't do those basic things?
You better call someone else, honey.
Oh, sorry.
For some reason, I'm not able to unmute everyone.
Jessica Hurrah, unmute yourself and tell me, why do you think it is that people don't?
Why don't they take the 2 hours a day to do that?
Whether it's 1 hour or 2 hours, just doing the basics, just showing up. Why don't they?
I think in the end, it does come down to fear of a lot of things.
Yep. I think so too. Thank you for that answer. That's one of the reasons why I wrote fear and confidence, because I think they go hand in hand. That if you don't have one, you have the other, right? And it's fear. Lindsay Cheatham knows what I say a lot, and that is, what we fear the most, we need the most. Everything that you feel like, oh my gosh, I can't do that. Like Tina yesterday, right? With her in the technology portion of this, that's not her strong point. But and she'll tell you this. I say this to her. What you fear the most, you need the most, because for forever, she's so good at inviting, right? She's so good at her confidence of inviting. But you know what is her weakest point? Is the technology side of keeping a list and keep doing those things in the back thing, the technology and creating that kind of stuff, because that's just not her personality, and that's okay. I mean, we've learned to work together off of that, but there's still stretching points that of keeping a list and making a PowerPoint presentation, right? And not and getting over a fear of presenting the PowerPoint. The technology is going to break down. But what happened yesterday, Tina? How did you feel after you did that and you knew?
Honestly, I felt really proud of myself for breaking through another barrier, and I saw how another brick was put on the wall. You know,
Yep.
just one brick at a time, and I keep seeing lots of things connecting together, like having a system in place, having tools to track, the ability to invite, consistency in inviting and learning how to overcome objections, personal development, they're helping me learn how to get over not taking it personal, all the building blocks, and then the things behind the scenes, like going through that project of even having someone else develop my website. I didn't write the content and stuff for it, and working with a technology person was very uncomfortable, but now I have a website to point people to. And the Jesse Reagan training, that was hugely uncomfortable, but now here Lindsay McGuire brought that training for us, that 7-day Shape-O challenge, and now I have the tools to really market that appropriately and test some different things. So all the pieces work.
Yep. So Tina has been over 5 years, gang, overcoming this fear. And the very basics of this business, if you don't have a belief, a 110% belief in yourself and in this product, our fitness programs, our Shakeology, that it works, and a belief in yourself, then this isn't going to work. This is why personal development is so important, because in order to be to attract others, we have to be attractive. And I don't mean physically and beauty and all that stuff. I mean, we have to offer people something. And Tina has said to me in the past, confidence is sexy. There's a reason a dude like me was able to marry a woman like her, right? It's because when I met her, I had no fear. Like, I decided, actually, I did have a fear. I decided to overcome my fear because I was out alone one night, and I knew that without my friends being there to dog me if I got shot down, that I could ask this girl to talk to me, basically. And so I overcome this fear, and I just stepped up and I started talking to her, and I said, "Hi, my name is Joe. Are you here alone?" And that's all I said to her. But it took me overcoming a fear, because I wouldn't do that otherwise. Now think about this. What life did I miss out on just by asking that question and walking up to her? And literally I circled around the deck and the bar, and I'm like, I can do this, I can do this. And then I just went in, and I'm like, "Hi, my name is Joe. Are you here alone?" Some fancy pickup line, right? And this is how easy it really is. Just and see how I perked up when I said that, because I had to Jesse said it yesterday, stand up. If that's what makes you confident on the phone, stand up. You breathe better, you're not slumped, your body language internally. So even when I was saying that, when I'm presenting this, I'm standing up straight in my chair, I'm not slumped, I'm awake, I got my coffee, I'm get myself together. And this is how we need to approach this business. And you have to know that this business works, this product works. Is there anybody out here that doesn't believe 100% in Shakeology? Yeah, we all do, right? I know I do. I know how it makes me. You know why? Because I drank it long enough. I got results. I know how it makes me feel. I know how I feel when I don't drink it. And so therefore, I know it's a feeling. It's a belief that there's something in Shakeology that makes it better. And, who has gotten results from the workouts? I lost 20 pounds doing Insanity, and I know it kicks my butt. I know it's a great program. And therefore, what's not to believe in, right? So if somebody says something, I'm like, There's no way they can convince me no matter what they say, because I feel it inside. And I know what I know, as Tina says, that you can't convince me otherwise. So every time you're talking on the phone, okay, here's another question before I ask that. How many people have a fear of sales? They feel like, sales. Be honest. Okay, at least I see a lot of hands going up. Let me tell you something. Every time you're in a message with somebody, or every time you're talking to somebody, and they convince you that you are wrong, that they convince you that what you have doesn't work, that it's not for them, they just sold you on something. You are going to them, and ultimately you're trying to, quote, sell them something, right? But if they convince you that what you're doing is wrong, what you have is a pyramid, what you have is a cult, what you have doesn't work as a gimmick, as a novelty, you know what? They just sold you. And when you have a confidence and a belief system that's 100%, they can't sell you. You're going to turn the table, and you're just going to say, that's no biggie. It's not for her. It's not for her right now. No biggie. They don't see it. So one of the first books that I read as a coach was I think the first or second book that was recommended when we were 6 months in. We had our very first training. Think about it. 6 months in was our first training with Tommy, November of 2011. And challenge packs were just coming out, and our training consisted of 4 one-hour phone calls, I think. Okay, that was our training. 6 months in, Tina and I weren't making any money yet. $20, $30 here and there sporadically. We've shown you the paychecks to show you that it was just a constant struggle. We chased off all of our friends, all that other stuff, right? But I knew this would work. I knew the numbers were in my favor. And then we got this book. How many people have read The Slight Edge by Jeff Olson? All right. So if you know that, when you passed away, out of the 2,000 friends that are on your friends list right now, that only about 50 of them would show up for your funeral, and only about 10 of them would cry, and only about half of them would be there if it's raining. So maybe you're left with 5 to 10 people that really, really care about you. How many people do you really give a shit about then, right? When you let people influence your goal in your future, what are you succumbing to? You're succumbing to your fears. And how do you overcome that? You overcome it by your belief system and knowing that what you have is great. Now, what do we start with? Our personal goals. I see Melanie's on here with her baby. I know Sarah has 3 babies. I know Ashley has a couple of babies. Everybody, has children except for, I know Kevin doesn't, and he's going to in his future. But here's the thing. Is there anybody that really can take away what you want for your family? Is there anybody that really has that? Is there anything more important than that? So it starts off with a belief system and a goal. Put your fingers up to your head and repeat after me. I have a millionaire mind. I have a millionaire mind. Kathy Hucker, I don't see your finger up there. I have a millionaire mind. If you don't have your finger up to your temple and saying that right now, and if you're not believing that you have the ability to do this business, that you have the ability to achieve whatever it is you want. And all right, so I don't care if you want to call yourself a millionaire, but how many people do you want to help? How many people, how many thousands of people do you want to impact? Where do you want to be 3 years from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now? Have you put your value system, your money is, you know, again, it's amoral, meaning it has no morals, money itself. You know what puts morals to money? This. How you feel about it comes right from here. It's either immoral or it's bad or it's wonderful because of how much you can do with it and where you can help others with additional income, all that kind of stuff. But here's the thing. If you don't believe that you can achieve a goal for yourself, that you're going to do this, are you going to be able to help others? You're not going to be able to help others. And because if you're not filled yourself, are you going to have enough to give others? Right? And so the what was the question I was going to ask? I just lost my train of thought a little bit, so I apologize. But okay, I know what it is. When I first started out, before Beachbody, when I decided I had a change in my life, I think we told you this. We watched the movie The Secret. Has anybody watched that movie? And we wrote down our goals. It asked you to do, what do you want in your life? What do you want in your life? What are the most important things you value? And at the time, I was frustrated with my job. And I realized I want freedom. I want to be my own boss. I want security. So we all have a different we have values. Those are values, right? How many people? Let's see. When I ask, let's ask Lisa Burdick, if you could admit you yourself. What are the 3 biggest goals in your life? How would you describe them?
Oh my gosh, the 3 biggest goals. Well, I have financial freedom,
okay.
But happiness and health.
Happiness
and health.
Health. Awesome. That's absolutely it, right? At the end of the day, we want freedom, happiness, and health. Those are all values. Now, how do you get to that freedom that you want? How do you get to that health that you want? How do you get to that happiness that you want?
You work at it.
You work at it, and there's got to be a plan to get there. If we just, like if you say that right now, Lisa, and if you, and I know you love being a nurse, but here's the thing. Do you have that freedom right now?
No, they're actually micromanaging us more, and I don't like it.
So you don't ultimately have freedom. So how do you measure freedom?
Well, for me, like you said, I love being a nurse, but I know my kids are home right now from school, and they're mad that I'm going to work all the time. So for me, seeing my family happy that I'm doing more with them is more, for me, measures my freedom too. So
yeah. Yep. So is there, Sarah Mihailo, is there any, how, if I asked you, what are your top goals, what would you say?
I would say it's similar to Lisa. I mean, my family's first and faith, and then I also want to be more free to do more things for my family. So.
Yep. Freedom, happiness, and you want health, right?
Mm-hmm.
So all of us want essentially the same thing. I can't think of anybody that wouldn't name those basic things as your, ultimate goals, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, those are values, though. Those aren't goals. Those are values because we all want those, right? And that's what we value. And that's wonderful because that's the basis of us as human beings. There's a calling for us. Now, we got to ask ourselves, do we have that today? Do we have what we want today? Or ultimately, is there a better picture of this to be able to go out there and do, I define freedom as to do what I want, when I want, with whom I want, right? What do I got to do to get there? And all of a sudden, you realize that when you describe it like that, you realize what's the missing link. The missing link is money, right? You can't do what you want, when you want, with whom you want, if you're tied to a job, if you have so much stress that you can't pay for things for your family, if you are constantly going to work and because they're controlling you and you're like such a great person that you don't want to let them down, but at the same point you're letting your family down because you're not spending time with them, right? But the only common link is money, and that it ends up being, whether we like it or not, there ends up being a financial component to this. And ultimately you decide what you're yearning for, but it could just be I love my job so much and I'll never ever give it up. That's great. Well, what about, are you providing enough for your children? You love your children more than anything in the world. Do you have enough set aside for a college education? Do you have enough to pay for that, or are you going to put them in debt? Or do you have enough set aside for your total retirement income so that your standard of living doesn't go from here down to here, from here, so you can't see the screen, down to here when you retire? What is that missing link? And if we don't have a belief system and set our goals up front of what we really, really want in life and say, that's it, I'm not going to take any more, and I'm not going to let anybody else take me away from that. So if you start with that base and know that very few people are going to show up at your funeral, right? That know that they're going to show up at all of ours because we're going to have such a massive impact on people's lives, right? That people are going to know us. They're going to feel us. That's how we all feel, right? How many people you impact their lives, they're going to care about. But if we start off with that basis, knowing that who cares, and knowing that I'm already in the top 10% and showing up every day, makes me in the top 1%. You're in the top 1% and doing those activities every day. You know what the top 1% earners make in this country? $450,000 a year, top 1%. All right? And there's a top 1%, right? Everybody hears about the 98% and the 2%, right? There's a top. They just do something different. They do something different. And if you know that you have this goal and nothing's going to stop you from this goal, and you know you have a product that works, and you know you have a step-by-step approach based on the team cycle bonus calculator and let's see, who has a job that I guess I'll pick on the nurses again because it's so obvious that you can't screw up as a nurse. How many times, if you have 10 things to do, Lisa, how many times are you allowed to make mistakes as a nurse?
No, you're not.
You're not, right?
Yeah.
People's lives are at stake when you make a mistake as a nurse, right?
Right.
Not allowed to make a mistake. Let's see. Who's Mike Panko? How many mistakes you're allowed to make at work?
Maybe a couple.
A couple. Out of how many decisions?
Out
of how many decisions all the time?
A lot.
A lot. Kevin Himmelreich, you're an engineer. You build planes, and your calculations have to be exact. How many times can you screw up?
Not many at all.
Our lives are on the line. Thank you, because I don't want you screwing up your math. So there's not a job out there where you're allowed to screw up. But on our job, if you ask 1 or 3 people or 5 people or 10 people a day, and you screw it up. So over the course of 30 days, that's 300 people. If you screw it up 297 times, but 3 people, it landed in the right laps, and you can't say the wrong person to the right, you can't say the wrong thing to the right person, and you can't say the right thing to the wrong person. If you knew that 3 people out of 300 said yes and you made Success Club, what is going to happen over the course of 3 or 5 years of doing that? You screw up. So 1 out of 100 is 1%. 1 out of 100 saying yes is 1%. 3 out of 300 is 0.33%. 0.33%. So if you screw up 99% of the time on this job, and you have a product that works, and you know that it works, and you like it yourself, how do you fail in this business? If you know that 1 out of 10, 1 out of 20, 1 out of 30 people say yes, I don't care what it is, and if you know that there's 300 million people on Facebook, and you can reach all of them, right, in the US and Canada, how do we lose in this business? Is there any other business model where we can screw up 99% of our time and not only maintain our job, but thrive in our job? Does anybody else know of that? No. The power of network marketing and what we have here is so incredible that we can't screw it up. The only way that we lose is if we give up, if we stop inviting, if we stop showing up, if we stop sharing, if we stop believing, if we have a fear. My 23-year-old niece introduced me to this business by simply saying, Uncle Joe, if you're doing that, you might want to try this, because she knew I was doing P90X. How simple is it to know that all she had to do was say those easy words and impacted thousands of lives? Because she signed me up. We signed up 1,700 people and all of our customers, and that's, you know, thousands and thousands of customers between all of us. Just she impacted that many people by signing up one coach. What impact is that? How many people, how many lives do you want to impact? Do you guys understand that if you signed up one coach who signs and helps thousands of people and you're not directly impacted, are you not proud? I am so incredibly proud of this entire team and all of our customers, and I don't even know 90% of you, right? I never met you. But that's the impact that we have in this business, and you got to believe that you're destined for something, and you got to believe that you can achieve your goals, and you got to believe that there is no screwing this up. There is no fear. You push that button, you get on the phone, you screw it up. What happens? You screwed it up. You lived. You learned. You're like, oh man, you know what? What did I do that time? They said no. Here's what I did. I didn't practice my script first, or I didn't have my script in front of me. I didn't think of a quick comeback when they said, are you reading the script? And you could have said, oh, you know what? Yeah, I just getting started, so I started reading through my script just so that I don't screw it up. Is that okay with you? What are they going to say? Yeah, that's cool. I'm so excited about learning my new business. I'm using the script so that I don't vomit all over you. Is that cool? Yeah, cool. You know how you learn that? Practice, practice, practice. The stuff rolls off your tongue. You know how you overcome objections? Practice, practice, practice. Fail, 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 fail. Ruin the objection handling 1,800 times before you get it right. Having things in front of you, preparing, standing up proud, getting on a telephone, talking to them, knowing that what you have, because you believe in it, is going to work. And it's going to work for them. And if they don't like it, it's just because they're not ready for it. They're just not ready to make a change. Nobody can convince somebody who's not ready. And so this call is all about fear and confidence and knowing that what you have works. Beachbody is an unbelievable company. We have unbelievable brand recognition compared to every other network marketing firm out there. How many network marketing firms are out there? Thousands. How many of them have the brand worldwide recognition of P90X, Insanity, Brazil Butt Lift, all these things that everybody knows about? You're working for a legitimate company. You are a sales marketing distributor. You are the marketing arm for a tremendous company. You are building a sales distribution system by helping others. And it works. So be confident. This is the very, very basics. When people are on the phone with you or on the message system or on your Facebook and you're not confident, what people smell fear. They smell it. And they will, if you're not believing in it, what's there for them to believe in? You got to have that conviction. So that's all I'm going to say today. I know it's actually, I didn't have anything planned, just so you know. So I don't know if this is helpful or not, but fear and confidence, this works 100% of the time when we work it. It's all up to us. Anybody have any questions or comments?
Well, people are thinking if they have a comment, I wanted to share a great example of how you will feel so overwhelmingly proud if you just stay in the game, in your business. So I actually wrote this out in a brag that I did on Lindsay McGuire, or someone, and it at least included Lindsay McGuire, because do you know how Joe and I first ever heard of Lindsay McGuire or met her? Here's how it was. We were at least 3 years into our business. We didn't know her. We went to a French restaurant in Vermilion.
Yeah.
And we sat down. A waitress came and she was really awesome. And of course, we probably started forming her. And she came back to our table and she goes, "Hey, you guys look familiar, and I'm not really sure, but I think that I might be on your team."
Yeah.
And it wasn't Lindsay. She said something about she was going to go, and she goes, and my coach, whose team I'm on, she's on your team too, and she works at the bar. So I'm going to go tell her. And then Lindsay was really busy, so as we were leaving out, we went and said hi to her at the bar, and she was so nice. And that was Lindsay McGuire behind the bar several years into her business. That's how we met Lindsay. And she was so friendly. She immediately invited us to a party at her awesome apple farm. And we got to know her a little bit more. But that we would have never, what other way would we have connected with her? And that lineage, there's Lisa Burdick on the phone here, that lineage went from Joe's niece to Joe to Tina, Lisa Burdick, to Sarah Mihailo, to Lindsay. And we were sitting at a table that one of Lindsay's challengers is at. That's how we met her. How unbelievable is that?
Yeah, absolutely. And Victor, go ahead.
Yesterday I had Kathy posted something about somebody who was, what do you say to people? And it's pretty amazing. It's one of the things that I really learned. If you're not 100% positive and like you were saying, if you don't feel completely convinced, people are gonna know that. They're gonna feel it in the way that you talk about the product, and they're constantly testing you. They want to hear that what you have to offer is what they need. So sometimes people will sound like they don't need anything, but they really will test and push you to see if you're for real.
Right.
They know when you're not for real. They can feel your fear completely. And, and if you're like, I've spoken to people that other people have spoken to and gotten them, and they're like, well, people have been talking to me for years about it. And it's just something about the way that you speak to me about it.
Yeah.
I don't know about you. I don't know. Maybe it's because I lost the 70 pounds in my transformation. I don't know if that's it because I've grown more confident now. It's just really the transformations of the people that I have served. You know, that to me drives me. I see my mom is off of her high blood pressure medicine. I see my daughter's skin is a lot softer and smoother. You know, I just see and believe that this is gold. I'm delivering gold to people. If you had gold, right, and you can offer gold to people, and
I love it.
it would change their finances, right? Because it's gold.
It would change our lives. Yeah.
What we have is complete gold, people. Their health, their finances, you know, time with their family. This is a gold mine, and I talk to everybody that way. I don't really care what it doesn't matter how they feel or think. I'm giving them gold. You don't want gold? Okay, fine, don't take gold. But I'm gonna tell you about my gold.
Victor, I love that. Actually, I'm going to use that because I'm going to use that right now on this team. Victor just gave something because you guys know I'm a big fan of this book called T. Harv Eker, Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. He points his finger to his head and he makes you say this as you're reading the book. But again, money is amoral. But here's the thing. You know, we're helping people. And if you don't believe that we're helping people, or if you believe that making money off of your friends is wrong, you're going to fail in this business. If you believe that there's something wrong with doing this, it's wrong. But here's how Victor just put it into my head to help people. Even if you believe that, if you believed that you had a wheelbarrow full of, you know, $50,000, $100,000 to give to your friends, would you believe you changed their life? Right? What could they do with that? You changed your life, and it's an opportunity. It's you know, the opportunity for health. How much is health worth? It's worth everything. It's the biggest thing in the world, right? It was our top three: happiness, health, and freedom. Basically, what everybody wants, right? And so how much is your health worth? Offering this opportunity, this challenge, the challenges is worth gold, their health. What right do you have to keep this opportunity in your mouth? What right do you have to keep this, our health opportunity, in your mouth and not share it, just like Lisa said, not offering to people? I could be failing my patients because if I'm not offering to help people, how can I find those that need me? So, you know, this is so important to understand the confidence. And you guys are the top 1% already. Keep that in mind. Nobody can knock you off your top because you already said yes.
I have to share a bed.
You already are showing up every day. You already are the 30 people that are willing to get up every day at 6 a.m. You are the top 1%. Confidence. Know that this works. You believe in it. That's why you're here. We're actually going to end the call early today because Tina and I got something that we got to do right now. Hope everybody enjoyed that. And I'm going to ask Tina, you got to shut off the recording, Tina. She's getting ready for us. Hope everybody enjoyed that, and we will see you in the team page, all right? Thanks.
See you guys.
Bye.